You are watching IPT News, a link between media, communicator, and the viewer. Dr. Pradyut Wagre, MC FCCP US, is a renowned name when it comes to pulmonology in Hyderabad. He's done his MBBS from Usmania Medical College in 1981 and has over 32 years of experience in the domain. Currently, Dr. Wagre is a professor and HOD of SVS Medical College, Mehboob Nagar, and is also a senior consultant pulmonologist at the Apollo Hospitals, Hyderabad. Not many know, but he is also an honorary consultant pulmonologist to the Armed Forces of India. In recognition of his academic achievements, Dr. Pradyut Wagre was recently conferred the honor of the Fellowship of the Academy of Medical Specialties by Indian Medical Association. He is also a fellow of the American College of Chest Physicians, is a member of British Thoracic Society, and is also a gold member of the European Respiratory Society. Dr. Wagre has many publications and presentations to his credit. With a zeal and zest for public service, Dr. Pradyut Wagre has also established several charitable trusts and foundations to serve the patients and to promote the medical education and research, which includes Kailash Nath Charitable Trust, Trirup Medical Education and Research Foundation, and Dr. Wagre's Lung Foundation. In this, there are a lot of children who get free education. Old people are taken care of. Not many also know, but Dr. Wagre has insured more than 200 patients in the PM Bima Yojana. And every Raksha Bandhan does a free medical camp for the people by distributing free medicines. Let's hear it from the doctor on the current pandemic situation.
What's your advice to our viewers on prevention from respiratory diseases to lower the chances of COVID-19?
It's a very important question because see what happens when we get infection with a virus. Let it be any virus. Here we are discussing about the COVID-19. The virus first enters the upper respiratory tract before it actually goes into the lungs and creates all the complications. So this critical window of 2 to 3 days is given to us by the virus. So what happens during this critical period is our immune system comes into action to fight this virus and kills the virus. This immune system, what we call as innate immunity in the medical terminology, they are comprised of certain cells called natural killer cells and macrophages and neutrophils, the job of which is to identify the virus, pounce on it, and then make like a burr into the virus, engulf it and kill the virus. So that is the job of the innate immunity system. So what drugs we can use to increase or boost up this immune system? We have two wonder drugs. One is pidotimod, other is curcumin. Let us talk about the pidotimod first. Pidotimod is a synthetic immunomodulator, immunostimulant, and immunoactivator. The job of pidotimod is to stimulate the innate immunity. That is, it stimulates the natural killer cells, the macrophages, the dendritic cells, etc., making them more energetic and active to more pounce upon the viruses and any other bacterial infections as well. So the numbers and activity of these cells are increased by taking pidotimod. Number two, curcumin. Curcumin, which is a phytochemical and extracted from turmeric or haldi, which is commonly used in our country in diets. This is another wonder drug. Curcumin, number one, it again stimulates the innate immunity. So both in combined together, they augment effect of each other. So they have a synergistic activity. Now, curcumin goes one step ahead. It not only improves the innate immunity, but it also prevents the entry of the virus into the respiratory cells. And even though if some virus has entered, curcumin is known to prevent the replication or multiplication of the virus. It also is known to have some effect on the so-called cytokine storm. Just to brief you what is cytokine storm, we see that 5% of patients who go into the critical stage, they end up in involvement of multiple organs. That is called as the cytokine storm because of the release of various inflammatory mediators. So curcumin is also known to prevent to a large extent this cytokine storm. So now you see, if you give a combination of these two drugs, pidotimod, an immunomodulator, curcumin, an immunomodulator, as well as a preventer of viral replication, that will be a very, very fantastic cocktail. And the next question will come is, who can take these drugs? So what we do, we indicate these drugs is any person who is infected with the virus in the first crucial period of the initial 2 to 3 days when the virus is still in the upper respiratory tract. That is when the immune system will kill the virus and prevent it to go into the lungs. So any person, especially if they have any comorbidities, by which I mean diabetics, hypertensives, people with chronic liver disease, chronic lung disease, cardiovascular disease, or patients who are on any steroids for long-term or anti-cancer treatment, anyone who have lot of immunosuppression, they are more likely to develop the complications of this coronavirus. So these are the prime targets. Number two, even close contacts of the patients. If you have a person of COVID positive in the house, any close contact of that also can be started on this, because it will boost the immunity even before he gets infected. So that will actually prevent him from getting infected as well. Okay, then some people ask us that is there any side effect with the drugs? Practically nothing. Pidotimod actually has been in use for almost more than 3-4 years for COPD patients. We have been using it to prevent respiratory infections. And practically, apart from mild nausea, that also very few people, which goes away as the drug is continued, there are practically no side effects. And curcumin, we all know, is a natural ingredient which is used in our day-to-day life, so it has no effect, no side effect as well. So the dose of pidotimod we give is 800 milligrams twice daily. It comes in a tablet form for adults. 800 milligrams twice daily for the first 2 weeks, followed by 800 milligrams one tablet a day once daily for the next 45 days. It is also available in pediatric form, in a liquid form. So you give 400 milligrams, that is around 7.5 ml in the morning and night for the first 2 weeks, followed by 400 milligrams, that is 7.5 milligrams once daily for the next 45 days. And curcumin is given in the dose of 500 milligrams twice daily for the first 15 days, followed by once daily for the next 2 months. And this, if in fact, I request you to see my video on YouTube where I have spoken on 2 wonder drugs in the treatment of COVID-19, which where I have spoken about the curcumin and the pidotimod.
Can you give us an understanding of how these drugs function in comparison to the other antiviral drugs?
This is another very important question, because so many antiviral drugs are being developed now. See, if you see the coronaviruses, especially with respect to the coronaviruses to which the COVID-19 belongs, coronaviruses are all RNA viruses. And one thing notorious about these RNA viruses is they are very, very smart. They have a lot of genetic mutations and they mutate so fast that they are smarter than us. The moment a new drug comes into market, these coronaviruses develop resistance to these antiviral drugs. So they have a very strong power to develop resistance to the drugs which are used to kill them. So if you see, there are so many drugs available in the market now, but none of them are able to cure or 100% get rid of this virus infection. That is precisely the reason where we need to put these immunomodulators such as pidotimod and curcumin. See, if you have seen many people taking vitamin C, D, and zinc, why? Because they're all immunomodulators. So what my answer to your question will be, you start the antiviral drugs, whatever, if any, doctor wants to start for specific indications. But please combine with pidotimod, curcumin, and other vitamin C, D, and zinc. So it is actually, not exactly in a substitute for antiviral drugs. Neither of the antiviral drugs is substitute for these drugs. So they are both go hand in hand. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes. This is definitely a very helpful information. Also, can you tell us what are the preventive measures taken by you for the treatment of your patient that show early symptoms of COVID-19?
See, what I do is, I'll give an example of what I do. When a patient comes to me with symptoms suggestive of COVID-19, I will ask him to send his swab for the COVID-19, that is the nasopharyngeal swab for COVID-19 PCR test. I will also send 2 blood samples, the C-reactive protein and the D-dimer. So these are the initial things. I don't send all the battery of tests initially. And then after sending the samples, I start them on pidotimod 800 milligrams twice daily, curcumin 500 milligrams twice daily, vitamin C 500 milligrams twice daily, zinc 50 milligrams one daily, and vitamin D 60,000 units once a week. What I also do is I start them also on doxycycline and ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine if there are no cardiac contraindications to hydroxychloroquine. All these drugs are very safe in these drugs. So I prefer doxycycline and ivermectin combination. I would like to say a few words about ivermectin as well. Ivermectin, if you see the statistics in African countries, the coronavirus infection there is very, very less. Why is it like that? Because all African countries were given ivermectin on a mass scale, which was an anti-parasitic drug to prevent the worms infection. That is the reason why these people are not developing coronavirus infections as rampantly as the other part, the western part of the world. So ivermectin acts initially in the first 24 to 48 hours of receiving the drug. It again prevents the entry of the virus into the cell, prevents the multiplication of the virus, and it also prevents the microvascular complications of the virus. So I start doxycycline and ivermectin in the beginning itself, along with the pidotimod and curcumin and the vitamins. Then what we do is, see, nowadays we cannot rush every patient to the hospital, because the hospitals are meant to take care of critically ill patients who seriously are ill, who require some sort of intensive care support. So we have started from our center, that is the Kunal Institute of Medical Specialties, Bashir Bagh, Hyderabad, what we call as home monitoring system. Now in this home monitoring system, it's a 2-week program where we have over 4 or 5 doctors with us who monitor these patients of coronavirus twice a day or by video. We provide them the kit, which contains a pulse oximeter, an incentive spirometry like a lung exerciser, a digital thermometer, plus the other paraphernalia like the gloves, mask, and the gowns. And then the most important thing is they are monitored twice daily by our group of doctors by video, where their respiratory rate, pulse rate, oxygen saturation, overall health status, their exercise, are they desaturating on exercise, all these parameters are recorded on a twice daily. Then as and when the reports come, that is analyzed by our doctors, and any changes made in the treatment regimen, I will be making those changes. So this program, what we call as home monitoring program, is a tremendous success and help to us. We have also added to this program, seeing that these coronavirus patients, when they need to do the blood test once in 3 to 5 days, they are finding it difficult to go out and to any nearby diagnostic lab. So we are arranging home collection of their blood samples as well from our center. The third thing what we have added in addition to video monitoring and the blood collection is, few patients are there who are becoming slightly hypoxic, especially in the second week, and they are finding difficult to get oxygen or a bed in the hospital. So we have actually tied up with few people who will supply them oxygen concentrator on rent for about 2 weeks or so they can use the oxygen at home, and obviously they are monitored by our staff here. So not only the treatment part, not only the clinical signs, symptoms, not only blood collection, but even up to the stage of oxygen requirement, we can very confidently manage the patients at home. Only those few patients who are showing signs of critical illness, they are being advised to go to the hospital where they really need, because we can't dump everybody in the hospital, because hospitals are meant to treat the critical patients. And that's why the whole rush of the beds in the hospital is occurring. So that is one thing. And we are also providing advice on their diet, other things as well, in addition to the medications. So this home monitoring has been a really, really great success to us. So far, I think we have done almost more than 65 patients of home monitoring, and almost all of them have recovered well, barring a few elderly gentlemen whom we had to refer to the hospital, and they also, thank God, improved and then came back. Thank you so much, madam. I hope I have answered all your questions.
Click on the link in description below to know more about Dr. Pradyut Wagre.
Thank you for watching IPT News.